everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Grant Irby, local realtor here in Blacksburg, Virginia and the New River Valley. And if you followed my channel for a while, you'll know that I've covered the Preserve, which is a neighborhood being developed by Eagle Construction in Blacksburg. Now today I'm going to do something a little different I've never done before. I'm actually going to do a driving tour of the neighborhood. And so I thought, with my first ever driving tour, what better place to start than the Preserve? Now, full transparency, I know the Preserve so well in part because I actually chose to build a new construction home and live there myself. And some of the big draws to the Preserve is that it's located just outside of Blacksburg town limits. So you're still in Blacksburg school systems, you have a Blacksburg address, but you only pay Montgomery County taxes, not Town of Blacksburg real estate taxes. And that's pretty important. And in addition to that, the Preserve is very thoughtfully developed, as you'll see. There are walking trails, there's a dog park, a couple of playgrounds, pickleball courts, and a lot of green space too. Now in the Preserve, you're gonna find a mixture of single family homes, villas, and townhomes, which we'll talk more about in just a minute. And you'll also see that it's all nestled right in the middle of this beautiful mountain backdrop. So without further ado, let's actually go see the Preserve. All right, so we're entering the neighborhood from Price's Fork Road. This is Kyle's Way. And I mentioned this is a development being built by Eagle Construction. Now, Eagle Construction is a builder primarily out of Richmond, Virginia. However, they have built all over the state of Virginia. They've built as far east as Virginia Beach, and then now down here as far southwest as the New River Valley. And the Preserve is here in Blacksburg, but they actually have a variety of other developments under construction right now in the New River Valley. In Christiansburg, they have the Meadows. The Meadows are all single family homes, and it's a more country type feel out there because even though it's only probably 7 to 10 minutes away from the Christiansburg Walmart, you actually drive through fields and cow pastures to get to it. And then they have in downtown Blacksburg what's called Midtown, and Midtown is a development of exclusively condo and condo style living. Then you have what's coming soon in Fairlawn, Virginia, which is Fairlawn is kind of synonymous with Radford, Virginia, where Radford University is. It's only 15 minutes away from Blacksburg. But coming soon in Fairlawn is Kings Point, which is a development that they just broke ground on beginning. So now we're on Natalie's Way, and Natalie's Way is basically, well, I shouldn't say basically, it's exclusively single family homes on this side of the neighborhood. And as we'll see here, a lot of these homes are still under construction and there are still a lot of lots available. I'm actually making this video, the time of recording is in January 2026. And if I had to ballpark, I would estimate that at this point, they're probably about halfway through completion of the neighborhood. So as we drive, you'll see there are active home sites and active properties under construction. Now, on the left and the right, you'll see there are wooden posts with white signs. Those are available lots to build on. And as you'll see, something that's unique about Eagle is they have respected or honored or appreciated, whatever word you want to use, the natural topography of the land. So Southwest Virginia, we are in the valley of the mountain. So we have rolling hills, and you will see that throughout this neighborhood. It's different from other builders in town. Some other builders will go in and they'll develop an area and they will just bulldoze everything completely flat. And they do that in such a way so they can fit more homes in the neighborhood. Because when you do that, you can create a grid pattern with your streets and you can pack houses in a lot tighter. Now, you're getting a much flatter yard, generally speaking. The downside is you can be packed in like a can of sardines. So I have found that with Eagle, how they've chose to maintain the natural topography of the land, it does a few things that I actually appreciate. One is it forces homes to be a little further apart from one another, which I love. So because you have to be intentional about where you can put a home on a lot because of the natural topography of the land, you'll find that there's just more breathing room between homes. Homes, generally speaking, sit a little further left and right from each other. And in addition to that, you'll find, we'll see some good examples, that it creates for some excellent walkout basement opportunities. Because if the land is rolling and you build your home on the top side of a hill or a rolling piece of land, well then the backside's naturally lower and it creates a really prime lot for a walkout basement. And so that's something a little bit more unique too about how they've chosen to develop the land. Now back here, I don't know how well you'll be able to see it, so we may have to try to chop some drone footage in with the magic of editing. But between these houses, and I'll pan over just a little bit, between these houses, there is actually green space, and that's actually in conservation status. It's never going to be built on, which is awesome for the houses out here that are building at the back of the neighborhood, because you have this beautiful mountain view that you can expect for ages to come. So we're at the very back of Natalie's Way. We're going to be turning onto this cul-de-sac here, Castile Court, and a few homes getting ready to be built on Castile, some that just recently got finished. Now, as we're driving down here, you can see across the way, those are the townhomes. Now, we're going to drive over there in a minute, but on the right-hand side of the neighborhood are exclusively single-family homes. On the left-hand side of the neighborhood, it's a mixture of single-family homes, villas, and townhomes. Something that Eagle also takes into account too with their architectural styles is the front entryway and the front porch. You'll see that most of their elevations, which is what they would call the front architectural style of the home, features some kind of front entryway, front porch, covered area, which depending on your lot can mean that you have a lot of steps and it looks very grand, or depending on your lot can mean that you just have a step or two and it's a relatively flat access into your home. They do have a variety of floor plans that are either single story exclusively, or that have the primary suite on the main floor. So it does make for single level living pretty simply. And then you can have floor plans with additional bedrooms upstairs. Now, I believe, unless I'm misspeaking here, I believe that all of their available plans can come with a basement. So regardless of which plan you like, there's an option to have it on a basement. Now you'll see here this neighborhood over here to the left. You can see that brick home up there with all of the windows. That is the neighboring neighborhood, right? So that's the neighborhood just directly adjacent to the preserve. That's Sterling Manor. Sterling Manor has a little bit larger lot sizes, but it directly is adjacent to the preserve. So on the left-hand side of the road here, as we're driving, if you were to purchase and live in one of these homes, your backyard would back up to that neighborhood. Now, just for fun, I'm going to take you down. There aren't any homes finished on this cul-de-sac here yet. There are some under construction that you can see, but it's a beautiful shot of the mountains. And you can see these Blue Ridge Mountains just totally surrounding the neighborhood, which is awesome. All right, we're gonna start working our way back out towards Kyle's Way so we can go over and see some of the villas and the townhomes. Now you'll see here on the right-hand side, this home that's under construction, that's got the roof on it and it's got the house wrap. It has a very tall, what you would think of as a basement. It's actually built pretty high up on the land, but believe it or not, that is actually a crawl space. Eagle in this neighborhood with their single family homes, they build their homes either on crawl spaces or basements. They don't do slabs for their single family homes. And with their villas and townhomes, those are on slabs. The other thing you'll notice here is that it's very walkable. You'll see sidewalks all throughout the neighborhood, and I'll show you that actually here too. So I'm going to pause right here. You can see this walking trail in front of me. This is actually not a street. That is a paved walking trail. There is a trail that wraps all the way through the neighborhood from front to back, and actually comes out at the very back by the dog park and the other playgrounds and sand volleyball courts, which we'll see in a minute. And then in addition, we're up here at the beginning of the neighborhood where there is some recreation space. So this is one of two playground areas. This one's a little bit smaller. It would be for toddlers or younger children. And then the one at the back is a little bit bigger equipment. And I can say that from experience because both of my children have broken them in very well. And then right to the left of that, we've got the pickleball courts, which, believe it or not, we are in January right now. It is sunny out right now, but about 10 minutes ago, it was snowing, which is wild. We don't get a ton of snow here in Virginia, but we literally just had a snow flurry come through, and so the ground is wet. Now, to the left of the pickleball courts and the patio tables and things like that, you have these cluster mailboxes. Now, this is interesting because, believe it or not, it's not up to the developer of a new neighborhood to determine what kind of mailboxes are going to be in the neighborhood. That's actually a decision made by the USPS, United States Postal Service. And what they found is that in a lot of these newer developments, it's more efficient for their mail carriers to be able to deliver to what these are, these cluster boxes, versus every home having its own individual mailbox. So throughout the neighborhood, there are different sections where there are cluster boxes. So if you were to own a home here, then you would have a mailbox in the appropriate cluster box. All right. Now, I say that if you have packages like UPS, FedEx, things like that, deliveries from Walmart or Target, they will get delivered to your door. If it comes United States Postal Service and it can fit in one of these cluster boxes, then that's where your packages would be. But for the most part, packages being shipped, UPS, FedEx, things like Amazon packages, those are going to show up at your doorstep. All right, moving on. So as we go through here, believe it or not, actually on the left-hand side are going to be some more single-family homes. And we're going to get into the villas now. So we've seen single-family homes. The villa is the second type of property that Eagle is building out here. And you can actually see a couple of examples. First, directly in front of us, we have villas that are duplex style. So these duplex style villas, which we're going to drive by here on our left, are smaller footprint, so they don't have as much square footage, and they are attached, so you have one neighbor to the left or right of you. Different from a condo, different from a townhome, but they are great because the HOA actually covers all of your exterior maintenance, like your lawn, snow removal. They mow your grass. And that's a big attraction with the villas and the townhomes, because that's also true for the townhomes. Now, for a single family home, obviously, whenever it snows, they're going to plow the roads and things like that. But you're responsible for mowing your own grass or managing that and maintaining it. With the villas and with the townhomes, the HOA takes care of that for you, which is fantastic. Now, we're looking here at an attached villa, which means it is a duplex. It's not a standalone, but they actually have home sites for detached villas, where it is essentially like a smaller single family home. You're not sharing a wall with a neighbor. It's your home on your own lot, and it still has all the amenities provided by the HOA as if it were attached like a duplex, but instead it's a standalone. So we would call that a detached unit. And there are a limited number of lots in the neighborhood for the detached villas. So those may not be around for too long, but they do have the villas here in both the duplex style and the detached standalone style, which would be like a smaller single family home. All right, we are going to continue on up here to the townhomes next. Now, the townhomes here are super popular. You can, depending on the floor plan that you choose, there are options that have a garage. There are options that don't have garages. There are options at two bedrooms. You can get 3-4 bedrooms. There really are a lot of options here with their townhomes. It is really simple living because, like I said, you're not caring about the exterior maintenance with the grass and the snow and things like that. You still have some green space to get to use, and everything, obviously, since this new construction is new, so that also takes away some of just the ongoing hassle of home ownership. So these are some of my favorite townhomes here at the top, because we're gonna whip around here at this cul-de-sac and we'll see, but because directly across from these townhomes is just a field, which is wonderful. And behind it, farmland as well, which is pretty cool. So you'll see this field here, which is really nice for these townhomes on our left to get to have that beautiful view. We're going to continue on to the neighborhood now and take a peek at the other recreation amenities at the back of the neighborhood. So where we are right now, you can see the single family homes kind of across the way. We drove through those towards the beginning of the video. That was that initial couple of cul-de-sacs that we drove down, and we looked across at the townhomes that were being under construction, and we are now on the opposite side of the neighborhood where we were looking across before. So to my left here, there are some townhomes currently being built and more home sites for upcoming townhouses through here as well. Now you can't see it too well, but to my right down below is that nature trail, that paved walking trail that I mentioned and highlighted earlier. So back here at the back of the neighborhood, we have a final recreation space. We got some more cluster boxes in front of us. And then right through here, you've got sand volleyball courts. There's a bigger playground, and there's also a fenced dog park. And I know it's kind of tough to see from the dashboard camera view, so we'll make sure in the magic of video editing to throw some drone footage in so that way you can see those recreation spaces as well. You'll also notice that there are these covered bus stops throughout the neighborhood. The public school system does have bus routes that come through the neighborhood, pick up kids. And we are not far from the school systems at all. I would ballpark we're within a mile of all of them, K through 12, that if you lived here, your student would be enrolled in. So directly across the street from the entrance of the preserve neighborhood is, I shouldn't say directly, kind of diagonally across is Price's Fork Elementary. And then you also have just down the road Blacksburg High School and Blacksburg Middle School. And believe it or not, I really thought moving out here that school traffic was going to be a big deal. I thought I would get stuck in the drop off and pick up traffic from parents picking up their kids and dropping them off. And really, it's not bad. The traffic flow around here is managed really well, so that way you don't really get stuck in it. And that wraps up my first driving tour here in the preserve in Blacksburg. And if you've seen my other videos about the preserve, hopefully this video will give you an idea of what it's like to actually drive the neighborhood and live in the neighborhood on a daily basis. And of course, if you are thinking about moving to new construction or anywhere in the New River Valley, I'd love to hear about your thought process and how I might be able to help. So feel free to reach out. My contact information is on the screen. And remember, it is a very common misconception that you don't need an agent if you're building new construction. But remember, the builder's salespeople work for the builder, and it is incredibly important with such a huge investment that you have somebody in your corner dedicated to making sure you are asking the right questions that we need to ask to protect you in the ways you need to be protected, that you are negotiating the best terms for your deal, that you're understanding the contract language and the terms within, and also that you're evaluating the upgrades that you may choose to make to the home and what it would cost now versus the return on investment it may or may not bring in the future. So it's incredibly important having somebody to advocate on your behalf. And if you have questions about Eagle construction or new construction in general, or you'd like to see more of these driving tours in other areas of Blacksburg, please let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor by liking and subscribing to the channel. It really does help other people find our content so we can help them too. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next video.